Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WCW Worldwide Review Series for the 26th of September, 1992. Obviously, the talk of the banning of the top rope rule by Bill Watts has been a major deal. Basically, there are several minutes where Watts talks about how the moves are now legal as long as it doesn't strike the knee or strike with the knee or other parts of the body into the head of the opponent. That is the first few minute segment. Anyway, Van Hammer in an enhancement match here, trying to get Van Hammer to be a pretty big deal at the time. Doesn't exactly go according to plan. Van Hammer with a fireman's carry attempt and drives the man back into the buckle. Hard shots by Van Hammer nonetheless. Slingshot suplex a la Tully Blanchard from the old days. Then we begin hyping the Halloween Havoc deal. Sting and Jake Roberts are about a month away from the Halloween Havoc spin the wheel, make the deal. First of two versions of that match. Sting is told by Roberts that in no uncertain terms, Roberts doesn't care what the match is that comes up on the wheel. He's ready for all of them. Mentions barbed wire and others, but doesn't care what it is. He just wants to eliminate Sting. Steve Austin says he's the best and plans to be a superstar in the Dangerous Alliance or outside of it. Doesn't matter to him. Mentions getting rid of Ricky Steamboat, among other people, coming up as his main focus. Danny Dees faces the Barbarian, who in about a month's time will be facing Ron Simmons. I don't think that was the original plan, but it's where they end up going. Barbarian here with the match with Dees takes his opponent pretty aggressively across and nails him a couple of ways. From Sunday, hard chops by Barbarian managing to get a victory with a couple of chops and the big running boot. Shane Douglas, who is basically looking like a rock star at the time, comes out and does enhancement talent stuff on other shows, but here ends up fighting off against what ends up being Raven in this incarnation is Scotty Flamingo. Body slams by Douglas. Good match, worth going out of your way to see if you like basic psychology, if you like the telling of a story. Flamingo having difficulty keeping Douglas down, willing to cheat and do whatever he can to get an advantage here to continue doing just that. Tries to keep him in the corner, doesn't keep him there very long. Crossbody from the second buckle on the inside, and they spin around there a couple of times. Irish whip, and Douglas manages the back elbow. Anyway, some basic brawling and simple stuff here to close the match out and ultimately get things going in the way that they want. And then we go to the promise by Cactus Jack that the Barbarian will defeat Ron Simmons. So I guess it was the original plan, at least for a little while. Simmons says Barbarian, Cactus Jack being applauded together doesn't bother him any. Halloween Havoc Control Center, more hype around Halloween Havoc. And there's a mini music or mini hype video with the knockout power of the Barbarian being highlighted. Can Ron Simmons stand up to that? The defense of the U.S. Championship and the International NWA Championship for Rick Rude and Masachono. More highlights of the Clash of the Champion, where in an elimination match, DDT causes Sting to fall to Jake Roberts here. Gordy and Dr. Death are seen in a match with the Steiners in more traditional form here. Obviously, this is a Bill Watts special. Watts liking the more aggressive, assertive stylings of matches, or professing to prefer same. Um, Needless to say, basic stuff, arm ringers, arm bars, and Gordy willing to bring the man down with chin locks and the basics here. Doesn't do everything he wants to do there without any stretch of the imagination, but gets enough on it to where there is more ride time on Steiner than is typical, to say the very least. Um, Needless to say, tag off by Scott Steiner. Scott is not exactly a guy who wants to back down unless he absolutely has to. Rick Steiner comes in, squares off against Dr. Death, Steve Williams. They both, believe, were major forces in the UWF at the same time, although I believe that's actually where Steiner started out. Dr. Death was a major force beforehand, before he got there. Anyway, um, brawling on the outside of the ring, Scott Steiner taken down. Double team by Doc and Gordy. Nearly gets them a victory over Scott Steiner back in the ring. Double shoulder tackles and the like. Doesn't get all they don't get all they want on it by any stretch of the imagination, but it's here, and the wear down of the back, dropping elbows across the back, and other basic maneuvers. The battle continues as Terry Gordy manages to drop several shots across the man, and a tag off. Rick Steiner comes back in as the temporary legal man, but the referee claims not to have seen the tag, therefore he gets sent back to the outside. Rick Steiner with the backdrop power slam combination kind of spins back into power slam formation after a backdrop, and the brawl continues. Rick Steiner manages a suplex victory, and the Steiners are victorious over Doc and Gordy here, much to the delight of the fans, and they are super happy with that. We will kind of move towards a couple of minutes before the close of the broadcast here. Obviously, not every WCW worldwide available for the time period, but many of them are, and we will continue to bring you same. But the thing we close with is Ron Simmons in I guess, a collared shirt and a tie, talking about the wonder and glory of being the champion and the danger of the Barbarian, but promising a victory at Halloween Havoc nonetheless. We will close on that note. We will be back with more right after this.